Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Mountaineer Postgame Show. I'm Schuyler Callihan. West Virginia falling to Arizona State 25-23, and with that loss, are now eliminated from bowl contention. I want to get my thoughts here in just a second, but as we always do to open up here the show, look here at the numbers. True freshman quarterback Scotty Fox had another pretty big day. 19 of 31 for 353 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Of course, that interception, the game ender there where the DB just slid up underneath Jeff Weimer, makes the pick on 4th down. But outside of that, another spectacular day from Scotty Fox. The run game could not get going, just 68 yards on 39 carries. You know that's going to drive Rich Rodriguez crazy. And for Arizona State, Jeff Sims goes 19 of 28 for 207 and 3 touchdowns. And the most important stat of the day for him, 0 turnovers. You can maybe say the fumble on 4th and inches, but it was turnover on downs anyways, and I'm not really going to fault him too much for that. But for the most part, a hell of a game from Jeff Sims. We talked about it all week that he is a turnover-prone quarterback. You look at every single stop he's been at, be it Georgia Tech, Nebraska, or even last year at Arizona State, in the action that he's played this year with Arizona State, he has been a turnover machine. And of course, that just did not happen today. He did not put the ball in harm's way. He maybe had one throw where he threw a little bit behind the receiver. Maybe in the second half, he maybe had one throw in the first half where if he puts the ball just a little, if there's just a little bit too much on the throw, then that's probably a pick. But outside of that, a really clean game from him. Read it really well. Operationally, just did a lot of good things. So hats off to him for keeping a clean game for them. They only rushed for 3.2 yards per carry as well, so it's not like they were able to really get anything uncorked in the ground game, which, 2 weeks ago against Iowa State, he ran for 200 plus himself, not to add on the extra 60-some yards that Raleek Brown had. Sims only had 81 yards in this game. Only had one big, really explosive run, which was a 21-yard run. But really, for me, it goes back to that sequence in the first half, and you guys know where I'm going with this. I do not mind the calls to go for it at all, either time on 4th down. I think you're down there. It's early in the game. You want to set a message. If you don't get into the end zone, you have Arizona State pinned with inside the own 6-yard line. So you bet on your defense that, hey, if we don't get this, then you're going to be able to get the ball back to us really quick. And the first one just got mucked up. There was really nothing there. And even if there was, you could say there maybe was an option to throw it underneath, but there just wasn't a whole lot there for Scotty. And you still felt good that you could get a stop. And if you go 3 and out there, then you get the ball back in plus territory and you're right back down into the red zone again, potentially. And it didn't happen. You allowed a 4th down failed attempt to turn into a 94-yard scoring drive by Arizona State. You get back down there again, and Curtis Jones comes this close to getting into the end zone, and that's 2 scoring opportunities. Whether you get one of them or both of them, that completely changed the flow of the game and kind of how things were called in certain situations. Just a tough break for West Virginia to have that happen. Also, some other small miscues. You have the ball at the end of the first half, and you want to end the half with the ball in your hands, likely in the end zone or with a field goal attempt. Instead, you get held to a punt, and the worst thing about it was Jeff Weimer drops the 3rd down pass, saving Arizona State from having to burn their last time out. And then on the punt, you have a catch interference, giving them 15 more yards of field position. Now, fortunately, WVU didn't get stung by that situation. But again, those things just add up, and they continued in that second half. I thought the change in the second half was really the defensive play. When you look at what they were trying to take away, obviously they're honed in on the run game, but the explosive plays just really weren't there as much as they were earlier on for Arizona State. So they had to rely on the ground game to get anything going, and just really couldn't. to hold them to 3 points in the entire second half, that's pretty impressive. And the 3 points came with a little over 2 minutes to go. So the defense did their job. The offense, for the most part, did their job, but just not enough sustained drives. You got to be able to stay on the field a little bit longer, not go those three and outs, or even if it's not a three and out, a quick drive where you're putting your defense right back on the field. And a lot of that comes with not having a run game. When you rush for let's just say 2 yards, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt here. Is really like 1.7, 1.8. But when you're rushing for that small per tote, you're going to have a long day on the offensive side. And especially with this Rich Rod offense, where that's where they make their hay and makes the life just incredibly tough on the true freshman quarterback. So, look, you can blame Scotty Fox for throwing that interception. I don't think many will. I don't think it's warranted. He's trying to make a play happen. Credit the DB for slipping up underneath of that route to get it. And, just hats off to them for making a better play. But Sincere Bowers, I did want to mention him. Obviously, the play that really turned the tides there for the Mountaineers late in that second half. 3rd and 27. It's your typical two-play call sheet, right? It's either draw or screen. They went with the latter, and you're thinking, okay, just get at least 10, 15 yards here, make it a little bit better field position wise. And all of a sudden, he catches it. And at first, I didn't think he was going to get anywhere near the first down marker. And then the second he started getting upfield, I was like, oh boy, he might get there because he's hitting another gear. And if you're hitting that type of gear, you see a whole lot of green in front of you. You see the first down marker, you're like, okay, just get the first down. Then he gets the first down, then he's still going and takes it all the way. And credit to him for not going down or getting tripped up at the 4 or 5 yard line, where Cam Vaughn, I probably got a little, I don't want to say lazy, but maybe just didn't finish the play as he should have. He did still make the block, but it could have been a lot easier for Sincere to get into the end zone had he been blocking that whole time. But hats off to him for making that big play happen, for giving West Virginia a chance to win this game. Greg Genross, who, look, 2 years ago when he came here, I thought, man, this is a freakishly athletic tight end that is going to potentially, mold into something decent. And he just hasn't been a force in the pass game, hasn't been much of or hasn't had much of a role offensively, whether it was under Neil Brown last year or this year under this staff. But man, coming up with that blocked field goal, that was massive. And also had a second chance. I mean, he was whiskers away from blocking that second one, which ended up winning the game for Arizona State. And, it is what it is. So, look, I think there's going to be a lot of disappointment, obviously, when you lose a game like that in that fashion, where you get some things happening late, a 3rd and 27, 90-yard touchdown, you get a blocked field goal. Things are starting to look like they're going to go your way, and then all of a sudden a late 2-minute field goal is the difference in the interception at the end as well. But look, this group continues to fight, and whether they won this game or not, this team's not going anywhere. They're not going to the Big 12 championship. They're not going to the college football playoff. We all understand that. And I think if you would have told anybody coming into this game, you'd have a chance to win with 2 minutes to go, you'd have the ball in your hands, you would take that every single time. And when you have that situation arise and you're a 11.5 point or 12 point or whatever it was underdog, that shows that this team is bought in. They're improving. They're getting better. Folks, this is a team that just won the Big 12 a year ago. I know they don't have everybody that was on that team back, but they have a lot of pieces. And, still, even without Sam Levitt, even without Jordan Tyson, you are still up against a pretty tall task today. That's a really talented football team, even without those two guys. And to go in, play a competitive game like that shows tremendous improvement. And it may end up in a 4-win season for WVU. Obviously, you got Texas Tech next week. But you have to like the improvement. And just go back to a few weeks ago, the UCF game. I mean, from that point on, this team has gotten better. TCU. This was a very TCU-like game, right? Scotty throws for 300-plus yards. You lose by one score. You played pretty good in every phase at some point, and you just fell short. That talent gap is going to close. And that's going to have to happen, obviously, in the offseason. When you get some more guys in the portal, you get some more depth with the high school class coming in. That's a full recruiting class coming in. You have Jaheim White coming back, potentially Jaden Bray coming back, Scotty Fox and his improvement through the offseason. You're finding some answers. I mean, folks, that's after the UCF game, that's all you could have asked for outside of obviously still wanting to win the games. But you needed to find a nucleus that you could build with, and you've got some answers. You've got Scotty Fox playing good football. Sincere Bowers has made some plays. Dior Hubbard, who got banged up early and couldn't come back, but he's made some plays during this stretch. You've got a couple of defensive players that have made some plays here and there. So you're finding some answers. You're building towards that area of contention that you want to be in. You're playing some decent football. You beat a top 25 team on the road. You just came within a couple of inches, really, of beating the reigning Big 12 champs on the road. That's a tough thing to do. So we can't lose all of that in the end result. And I understand people look at the wins and losses at the end of the day. Totally get it. That's where everybody's judged on, including the head coach. But when you've had everything that's happened to you this year and all the injuries and the quarterback situation, you're looking to find answers. You have that. You're building. It's 4 straight weeks of competitive football, which is a far cry from what it was in Orlando in the 4 previous weeks before that. So, look, hang in there, folks. It's going to get better. Just got to bite the bullet for now and see what happens next. Not next week, but 2 weeks from now when they take on Texas Tech. For those of you who are wondering, Eugene couldn't get on. He's got some Wi-Fi issues. He's out visiting family in Pennsylvania. So he is going to be back with me tomorrow on the morning after show. So if you want to get Eugene's thoughts on this game and about the team moving forward, make sure to stop back by here on the channel tomorrow morning, and we'll have that episode for you on Between the Ears. So thank you guys for watching the Mountaineer Postgame Show. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button here on our page. Add West Virginia on SI. And Eugene and I will see you back here tomorrow morning. Take care.